I am humbled that the people elected me as the governor to lead them for the next 4 years. I vow to you, dear Lagosians, that my eye and my mind are too focused on the future, too fixed to where we must go, that I will not give a second thought to where we're coming from. Lagos is so densely populated that we're all each other's neighbors and we should be each other's brother. With this spirit guiding us, our challenges do not daunt us. This inspires us towards greatness in three areas. First, our administration shall advance and build on the tradition of construction, the modern infrastructure needed to improve living conditions and encourage greater business and investment by lowering the cost and increasing productivity. Secondly, we'll try to enhance a social service to make sure that basic needs of the modest and the poor are met, and that Lagosians shall not be deprived of any human care or human dignity. 3, we will develop specific and concrete plans to establish the types of businesses and investment in Lagos that will provide sustainable growth and job opportunities for the 21st century economy that we see in Lagos. We must provide jobs and economic opportunity for the vast industries and the population. By doing so, we shall function as a catalyst for growth, not only in Nigeria, not only in West Africa, but in the entire African continent. Lagos will stand as the economic capital of the entire black race.
Acceptance speech by the governor-elect of Lagos State, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, there just shortly after he was elected. That's in Lagos here, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, governor-elect of Lagos State. And that's how we begin, or we open the studio for the verdict, a special channels television coverage of the 2019 general elections. Winners are already emerging from the governorship and State House of Assembly elections held in 29 states across the Federation on Saturday, the 29th of March 2019. And as the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, resident electoral commissioners continue to announce results from their respective states. According to the people's verdict, some incumbent governors have been shown the green light to continue for another 4 years, while other states have chosen to go on a new path. So far, the people of Kwara, Lagos State, Abia, and Enugu have spoken, and also lately Oyo. And in the course of the program, we're bringing you update from the remaining states. We have 29 states that went into the governorship election on Saturday. This is the verdict, a special channels television coverage. You can be part of the conversation, and you can use the hashtag, the verdict, hashtag 2019 elections. You can also tweet at us at Channels TV, and you can send us pictures or express yourself through pictures and videos through our Instagram handle, as you have seen on the screen there. I am Kayode Alayande, welcoming you to the program, The Verdict. We are here with you till tomorrow morning, and we'll be following the different states that are sending in, that will be ready to give us the results of the governorship elections as they have happened in their state. And I'm not here alone as usual.
That's right. I'm Charles Eruka, and indeed, Kayode, of course, we know where the results have come in, and the governorship, well, the governors, the emerging governors announced. Well, you did forget to mention Niger State as well. Where,
okay, absolutely, yes.
Yes, of course, the incumbent, Abubakar Bello, has also emerged. Well, he has been given the nod to go for a second time, and of course we have results also being awaited from Cross River, from Delta and Akwa Ibom states. We're also waiting results from Benue State, Imo, Borno, Taraba, and we'll also be bringing you the states where there are controversies emerging. I'm Charles Eruka, welcoming you to The verdict 2019.
And I'm Ayotunde Balogun. Now, what else can I say? These guys, you've said everything, but what perhaps
there's still much more to say.
There's still much more to say. Indeed, I'm actually particularly interested in what's going on in some of the states where the governors were re-elected. You talk about Jigawa State, you talk about Enugu State, you talk about Abia State. Like you said, the people have given their verdict. They want them to continue. They believe they've done well. So let's get to see what they can do again for the next 4 years. But particularly in Ogun State, of course, we know that there's a new governor coming in, but it appears some parties are not really pleased with the outcome.
That's politics.
That's politics, and we'll get to see how that pans out. Trying to seek a redress via constitutional means. So, and all of that, and we'll expect some of these things to come out in other states as well. So.
All right, so we're not in the studio alone, as the cameras have revealed. We have joining us to talk about matters arising, as we will say, from the elections as we have seen so far. Mr. Abiodun Ajijola, he's an election and data analyst and also an observer. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
on the
me.
verdict.
Good evening. Thank you.
And also we have Dr. Kayode Esuola. He's a senior research fellow, Institute of African and Diaspora Studies, University of Lagos. He's also a public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's begin with the acceptance speech, so to speak, of the governor-elect of Lagos State, where we are. He touched on a few points in his acceptance speech. He said his government is going to focus on the future, and they are going to continue on the path of elaborate infrastructure, because Lagos State is a commercial nerve center of Nigeria and by extension of Africa, and so infrastructure is very important to his administration. They're going to focus on productivity. He also mentioned social service. They're going to continue in the pattern of ensuring that the poor and the less privileged are not left behind, that it's going to be an inclusive growth for everyone. He also talked about specific plans to sustain growth in Lagos State, and that the government will be a catalyst for a robust growth. So, having heard the governor-elect, what are your immediate thoughts, Dr. Esuola?
Well, what comes to my mind is that it does appear that there's a synergy.
Well, Dr. Esuola, I think you'll have to just put a lid on that just for a moment, because while we just introduced you, we're also told that we have an announcement of results coming in from Ogun State.
Okay.
We'll have a lot more to say about that.
Thank you.
We join Ogun State.
APM 27,859 votes. ASD 27 votes. BNPP 20 votes. C4C 12 votes. 12 votes. CAP 18 votes. DA 87 votes. DPC 54 votes. DPP 77 votes. FJP 58 votes. Fresh Party 40. GPN 35 votes. ID 14 votes. JMPP 18 votes. KP 63 votes. MPN 73 votes. NCP 56 votes. PDP 3,575 votes. PPA 147 votes. PPA 147 votes. PPC 58 votes. PPN 127 votes. PPN 127. 127. PPP 67 votes. PT 35 votes. RBNP 82 votes. SDP 94 votes. UDP 59 votes. UPN 42. UPP 69 votes. Yes Party 136 votes. YPP 90 votes. ZLP 92 votes. Yes Party 136. YPP 90. ZLP 92 votes. Total valid votes 72,490. 72,490. Rejected votes 3,180. Total votes cast 75,670. 75,670.
Any cancellations? Please, the mic. How many units? Just one unit. So what was the problem? Overvoting. Which unit was that? Iju? Iju is near Lagos. How many registered voters there?
The number of registered voters there is 33,000.
So that particular unit that was
okay
cancelled.
for that.
That polling unit that was cancelled. But it's only one polling unit. We're talking of one polling unit that you cancelled. Anyway, I think you can provide if you supply that information.
You have it, Abi? So I think you can supply it. You can go and look for it now.
That is what, no, not what this. Three is what 9. What 7, I mean. What 7, two is what 7. That's
But you said it was because of overvoting. Hello, sir. You said it was because of overvoting. Okay, overvoting, I think it won't count. It's not valid if it's overvoting. And let's continue. Let's continue. Look over. Okay. How many minutes? I mean, they can go. You know, I'm webby. A lè lo sórí laptop yẹn. But you're supposed to be the same. I think we have killed something else. The hard copy.
The INEC Collation Center in Ogun State having a little bit of difficulty. Apparently, it looks like they're having issues with, the figures.
Yeah, more like they're trying to reconcile the numbers.
And, well,
exactly. That's
You know, Ogun State happened to be one of the very first states that started collation today. And the thing has dragged on up till this moment, and so many other states, a few other states that started after they did have announced their results and have gone to bed. And for some reason, this has been such a very thorny problem for them. But well, let's hope that they cross the T's and dot the I's properly, and then we have the next set of results coming in from Ogun State before this night runs out.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. You remember that when we spoke...
Dealing with figures.
Yes.
It's a very touchy matter.
It's always a touchy matter, and you can see there's so many people that gathered and are just looking at what needs to be corrected. And,
especially when they are electoral figures.
Electoral figures. You don't want to.
You need to be very careful.
That's it.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, careful
crucial.
is the word, because Ogun State has actually been the hotbed of drama in the lead up to the elections, whether inter-party or intra-party.
Yes.
New alliances formed, previous alliances broken. I think it's a lot to talk about when the Independent National Electoral Commission finally announces the results. But a very, very interesting state there. Therefore, the people handling the figures have to be really, really careful.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, everyone is watching. The whole country is watching right about now. So they have to do it,
But it's good to know. When we spoke with our correspondent there, Dari Do, yesterday, it was good to know that it was largely peaceful, and there were no reports of skirmishes, and the process itself, the conduct of the elections itself, ran quite smoothly. I guess that was why you were still surprised that Ogun State is Ogun State is still struggling to crunch the numbers as we speak. But let me ask Mr. Abiodun Ajijola, you're an election observer. What do you think is going on there now?
Well, I'm not sure 100%, but the results do move through levels of collation.
Yeah.
And once you have the PU, you go to the ward, and the registration area, then you go to the LGA, then you come to the state. It's a governorship election, ends at the state. So ideally, the results brought in by the collation officer from the LGA, there's the LGA collation officer, and he's going to give it to the, he's going to present it and then hand it over to the state collation officer who enters it. Ideally, there shouldn't be any issue. That's why most of the time when you look at most of the returns, there are not issues. But if there are any little errors, sometimes there could be reconciling. The display that you are seeing there is like a computer, and then they're entering it. It auto-calculates, you get.
Okay.
So what you see there is what he read out. As he reads it, somebody is entering it. You observe that.
Yeah.
So that's an Excel thing that is done automatically, which we are all watching. But what was entered was done manually, right? So maybe sometimes it could be that if you have 50 parties, for example, or 40-something, and you're going to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's human. It could be that there was a slight error, maybe, just an addition issue. If you put it in the Excel, automatically lets you know because it's computer. But, the process by law is manual, so you have to write it. So it's possible that, as he's mentioning it, when they added it with the calculator, and there was a slight error. Meanwhile, on the Excel sheet, you see it's something a bit different. So usually, it's never a big issue. Usually, if you take a calculator or you really re-add, do the summation again, usually you don't have an issue with it. Yeah. So it's not really that maybe there's some problem or something fishy. It's usually just a basic calculation error.
What are your thoughts concerning this?
Well, it's quite open as all of us are watching it. I think we're as, permit me to use that word, as confused as the people also are. Everybody is looking and seeing what is going on here. but I'm sure they will get over it. It shouldn't go beyond just mathematical arithmetic error.